Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to tell you another travel story about my trip to Spain last year. This was my first big solo trip, so I hope you enjoy it. This trip lasted 1.5 months. The first month I was volunteering as a surf photographer at surf camp, mainly for kids. So I stayed 1 month in Puerto de Vega. It is a small village in Asturias. Asturias is the less touristy region in the north of Spain, so it is a bit difficult to get there. You either have to get there by bus or by car. In this surf camp we did a lot of activities with the kids, so one new thing that I learned was skateboarding. There were 2 beaches nearby in the area where we usually went for surfing. The main one we went most of the time was the beach of Frajulfa, or Playa de Frajulfa. And the other one was called Playa de Bërë. This was even more beautiful. This was a natural reserve. It was protected because of its cultural and ecological values. One day we went for a short trip to a hidden waterfall nearby. We couldn't take anything with us because we had to jump in the waterfall and then there was no turning back. We had to go with the flow of the water, so everything that we would take with us would become wet. So after we jumped, we had to slide down a natural water slide, and then we would end up in a natural pool, and then after that we had to climb down a steep surface, and then we would end up again in a natural pool. So it was really an adventure. Sometimes me and my friends would go for walks around the village and enjoy the beautiful scenery and also dance while doing it. While I was in Puerto de Vega, once I tried the pulpo gallego, which is a Galician-style octopus. So delicious. One day my friend Nina and I went for a day trip to Cudillero, which is a tiny fishing village around 50 kilometers from Puerto de Vega. We took the bus early in the morning and arrived there pretty early. Houses in Cudillero were colorful and they were like piled on top of each other, so this gave the village a very beautiful view, like in a postcard. If you go there you have to try the seafood because it is really tasty. For lunch we had some tapas and then we headed back, and on the way back we wanted to stop and see the Playa del Silencio, which means the beach of silence, but we couldn't take the bus to go there, so we either had to walk or we had to find a car somehow. Walking would take us around 3 or 4 hours, which was a lot, and we didn't have time for that, so we decided to hitchhike. Nina was really a pro at that. She really knew how to make people stop and take us with them. So we didn't wait for long and the car stopped. They were luckily going to the same place, so to this beach.
So guys, we
3 hours hitchhiking, no one wants to pick us up because I'm here. Please.
The beach was wonderful. It had this dramatic look that day because it was so windy and the waves were huge. there a couple of hours and explored the area, and after that we hitchhiked again because now we wanted to go back to Porto da Vega, and we got picked up by some cars on the way, and they left us at spontaneous different locations.
But at least we have some cookies, so we will not starve.
So we ended up visiting this other city, Luarca, that we had not planned on visiting, which was really nice. After staying in Porto da Vega for a month, I had planned on traveling for 2 weeks in the north of Spain, and then to Madrid, and then back to Albania. I had to leave this surf camp 4 days before I had planned, so I had to change my plans, and I was a bit stressed about that because I didn't know where I would go and whether I'd find a cheap accommodation or not. Then I decided to go to A Coruna, and that was the best decision I could have made. There was no bus going from Porto da Vega to A Coruna, so I had to find a car. I tried the BlaBlaCar app, and I found someone who was traveling that day from Porto da Vega to A Coruna, so it was my first experience with BlaBlaCar, and it was a really positive one. I booked an Airbnb for 3 nights there, and that's where I met Orion and Mariana. We got along immediately, and I had an amazing time in the city.
Start now.
Hello,
Hello,
I'm Vicky,
I'm Mariana.
and we're here with our new
Vlog.
vlog and trying to entertain you somehow with our cool jokes and
We're going to do a strange thing. My English, but I don't mind.
how to eat cookies. Oh, you began.
Yeah.
First, we open the bag.
Can you show, please? Now it's open, but you close it, and
yeah.
then you can open.
And then we open it
Yeah.
and we take a cookie.
Yeah.
And these are protein cookies. Like,
And digestive oats.
and it costs $1.69.
Okay.
Do you want one? Do you want one?
Yeah, half, please. I'm going to taste it. If I can't.
Yeah. So now we open our mouth.
I'm doing well.
It's important to chew like 30 times before you swallow it. I read it somewhere. It's so cute. We saw dolphins, a pack of dolphins, but we cannot show it to you because now we don't know where they are.
They are swimming. Okay, we're starting the vlog. I'm going to speak in Spanish and you can speak in Albanian. I'm not going to understand anything.
Kjo është shoqja ime, Mariana.
Yo conocí a Mariana. Go.
I ka shumë gjane dhe pse kemi shumë pak kohë që njihemi.
Y salimos a la playa un día.
What was playa? It was plage. I say
Plage.
I did not say plage. Yeah.
Ayer.
Oh yeah. Near, okay.
So inteligente, sí. Bye, our fans. We're coming
Bye.
back to another video.
Hope to see you. We love you very much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
all your
watching.
kisses, your support.
All your positive vibes. We appreciate it a lot, and we'll be back soon.
Coruna is a very lively nightlife. There were restaurants open till late, bars, clubs, people dancing on the streets, a lot of people, very touristy as well, a lot of concerts.
Y sabes que no todo será igual. Y noches de fiesta ni un bis final, ni conciertos de John Mayer o Albert.
What's up, girl? What's up? Not
Besides the nightlife and the fun, Coruna has beautiful beaches with crystal clear water, with white sand. An interesting fact about the city is that it has the longest seaside promenade in Europe. So it took me, I don't remember how long it took me to walk it, but a long time. My next destination was Oviedo. Oviedo is a very historic city, so there are many buildings that you can visit if you are into history. It wasn't exactly the type of city that I like to visit, plus I was really tired, so I spent most of the day in the room that I had booked in an Airbnb. And the next day I went to Gijon. In Gijon, I stayed at this cool hostel which was right next by the beach, so the view from the room was great. If you go to Gijon and you want to try the tortilla de patatas, which is a traditional Spanish dish, I'd recommend you go to this place because it was really good. The next morning I took the bus to Santander. I was trying to save money with the accommodation because in the north the hostels were very expensive, so I was talking to this guy in couchsurfing a couple of days before I went to Santander, and he decided to host me. At first I was a bit skeptical because it was my first couchsurfing experience and I barely knew the guy, but I went for it. And it was the best decision I could have made because he was such a sweetheart. He took time to show me the city, we practiced some Spanish and some Portuguese, he fed me so well, and he made me the best mojito I've ever tasted. Santander has some really nice beaches, but I didn't have time to see all of them. The next day I went to Bilbao. Bilbao is the capital of the Basque country and is famous for the Guggenheim Museum, which is a great architectural work, so I highly recommend you visit it if you're in the city. Another really nice architectural work is Zubizuri, which is a bridge that is located near the museum. It looks like a sail. Bilbao is the city that impressed me the most because you can find art everywhere in the city. It's really nice just to walk the streets and see modern art everywhere. I should not forget to mention the food. The Basque country is very famous for its cuisine, so make sure to try all the pinchos you can and thank me later. The next day I took the bus to San Sebastian. San Sebastian was the second city that I was visiting in the Basque country. I had heard so many good things about this city, so I was really excited to go and see it. But the day that I went there, the weather was rainy, it was not good, so that made the whole city look a bit sad. I was lucky to be there during Semana Grande, which means the big week, and in this week there is an international firework competition going on, and also many festivals and many events.
¿A qué será que se destina? Pues cuando tú me des esta rosa pequeñina, di que es un hombre lindo que si acaso asina, tu menino infeliz no se nos ilumina.
San Sebastian is also very famous for its cuisine, and I remember I met with this girl that I had met one day before in Bilbao, and we spent the whole afternoon going from bar to bar and trying all the pinchos that we could eat, and it was amazing. San Sebastian is probably Spain's most expensive city, and I had to pay like 50 euros for a bed in a hostel room for a night, so that was like crazy. And the second night I decided to sleep on the bus to Madrid. Madrid was my final destination. I spent 3 nights there. Madrid is a really big city and you need a couple of days to see it. I walked the whole time, I didn't use the public transportation, so I was walking like 15 to 20 kilometers per day, where not only in Madrid but during all these 2 weeks, so I kind of balanced it because I was eating so much at the same time. Madrid has a really nice architecture. While I was staying there, I joined a free walking tour. They normally meet at Plaza Mayor, which is the main square. So I suggest you do it because it's also a very good opportunity to meet new people. As for food, there are 2 things that you should try in Madrid. The first one is paella. It is also a traditional dish and it was yummy. And the second one are churros with chocolate. There is this famous place in Madrid where you can try the churros with chocolate. And the place is called Chocolateria Sanguinés. It is very touristy and also a bit more expensive than the other places, but totally worth it because the churros that I tried there were the best, and I tried them in a couple of other places as well.
Oui.
O con otro tú te vas, no me importa un carajo porque sé que volverás. Y si con otro pasas el rato, vamos a ser felices los cuatro.
So now we've come to the end of my trip in Spain. I also want to say that I spent around 700 euros for 2 weeks while traveling in these different cities in the north and also Madrid. And that's like double the money I spent in Portugal in 2 weeks. But I think that's because the north of Spain is way more expensive than the rest of Spain. It was a great trip full of adventures. I met so many amazing people along the way, so I'm really grateful for it. If you have any questions about this trip, let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you still haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!